Hi everyone, just a quick video to show you what I've been up to today. I'm putting the finishing touches on a few of the cornering and wall pieces that you would have seen in a recent video. These have been painted up with my standard dungeon color scheme. That's primed in black and then dry brushed with successive layers of a dark brown and a gray on the floor tiles, and then the same color scheme with white on the walls for contrast. I've added a little bit of flocking to a couple of these, showing some rubble, some wall collapse, only on 3 pieces because I don't want to go overboard with the flocking, but because it's a dungeon, you've got some collapsing pieces. I emphasized that in a couple, and that's just done with Woodland Scenics gray ballast. And so I piled up a couple different layers, let it dry, and then another layer of glue, and it sort of builds it up in the corners to make it look as though there's a bit of collapse there. So that's done on 3 pieces. This one is really over the top. It's got a lot of wall rubble coming down. A whole section of walls collapsed around this little column here, and it's almost filling up the entire hallway. I like the way that turned out. The ballast is a fairly light, I guess almost like a cat litter color. So again, once it's dry, I go back in and dry brush on a layer of gray and then highlight it with some white to make it match the walls. And here's a third piece with some rubble in the corner there. So that's worked out pretty good. On this piece in particular and a few others I can show you, I picked up a set of rubber stamps at Michael's a little while ago, and this was a set of smaller stamps that have these different patterns on it, and it was my hope to make some sort of floor pattern or design on some of the tiles, and going with a dark red color scheme. I tried my best to apply some paint to some of the floor tiles, and because the paint is perhaps still a little bit too thick, the detail on some of the stamping didn't turn out all that well. I have that one I just showed you, plus this other fleur-de-lis or scallop shell type stamp, and it was even worse. It just came out kind of blotchy. So I'll try and refine my technique and update you on how that goes. I'm just going to try maybe even going with an ink or watering down the paint a little bit. If you've got any suggestions, certainly I'd be interested in hearing about it. So for this particular set of dungeon tiles, I added these wall columns, and I think there's 5 of them all together. And I just wanted to give it sort of like a painted look. Painted in a red motif that matched the floor tiles, and then I add some accent color there, and then went back over and dry brushed on a little bit more red to make it look like hopefully that the lighter colored paint had sort of faded away or chipped away over time. Again, just something to make them a little more interesting looking. There's another piece here. As I was making it, I put a row of the half-inch wide floor tiles on top to make it look like the wall had been trimmed. And because I was going with that red color, I tried my best to make it look like it was brick, I guess. But it's perhaps a little bit too red, not quite brown enough for brick. So again, to try and to cover that up, I went over and dry brushed on a little bit of black. Maybe it looks like it's been burnt or something, but not too bad, I guess. So yeah, that's just an afternoon's worth of painting and fun playing with the flocking and the different accent pieces I have. Thanks, and we'll see you again.